Hey guys, EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today, and I have more commentary over some games in the Singapore Cup's BT17 format. And for this matchup, instead of starting with the footage and going to deck profiles, I'm starting with the deck profiles and going to footage just because there's a lot of things going on here, including new cards that may not be super familiar to y'all. And I kind of want to emphasize the SOC cards because this is an SOC mirror match. And there's two types of builds of SOC decks you will see. You will see builds with the Luga base, and you'll see builds with the Doru base. Now, the one thing that really differentiates the two builds that I've been able to notice so far is using the new Balmon rookie. This one's focused on when you place Tamer cards as sources, you can Digivolve into a Digimon card with SOC trait in your trash. So if you're doing the Balmon base, that means you're using the Lugas, and if you use the BT14 Luga, you can cheat out AGs into play by cheating them from your hand or trash. Bomb source using BT14 Luga. And then the Doru base uses the old Dorimon rookie. If you tuck a source, gain a memory, or draw a card, I can't remember what it is, it's a Dori. But basically, you're using the Dorus to cheat out the Kosuges instead of the Aegis. So you would cheat out your Fixer rather than your Plusser. You technically do have the new Hacker or Cracker Fang Ag as well, which is your Fixer for the Luga base. But the other merit of the Doru base is you can use the Warp Dorumon here, which, if you guys remember from the Nume Monze matchup, they used the Kakua Floodgate. This would be a valid target because it ignores Digivolution requirements. So just kind of talking a little bit more in the meta about why we saw the old Floodgate Kakua start popping up as well for the Awakening Golden Knight option and for this Dorumon rookie. But after the bases, you go into a very similar level 4 line. You'll see this Dorugamon coming up thanks to the keyword collision here. And you'll see the whole Dex Dorugamon and Dex Doru Greymon line come up. These guys have collision, you're going to force an attack, you're going to force these guys to die perhaps, and if they do die, you can go into their Dex counterparts using the trash effects when one of your Dorugamons or Doru Greys would be deleted. You can Digivolve into this card without paying the costs. So if you have Dorugamon dying, you can go into the Dex. If you have the Doru Greymon going, you can go into the Dex Doru Greymon, the exact same. If it be deleted, you can prevent that deletion. This means deletion by battle. So the collision keyword coming up, and when digivolving, you'll see various effects. Like on this one, you'll be able to draw and trash a card. This one, you'll be able to draw, trash a card, and then delete a 4 cost or less, 6 cost or less on this one. And then that's how you get to your Dex Doragoramon line. I promise I can say these lines properly in the names. This one is the exact same effect as the previous Dex lines we were talking about, but you would go from this Collision Doragora into this Dex Doragora. And the D-Digivolve keyword is super powerful in these upcoming formats, especially if aces are more frequently used. You can either D-Digivolve the Digimon to be the wrong level so they can't be aced over, or you can D-Digivolve an ace and get the overflow memory so you're being more memory efficient. But that's the main combos and concepts I want to talk about for the SOC decks. Like I mentioned, you got the Doru base here, which emphasizes the Dorumons, cheating out the Kosuges. Then you also have the Luga base, which cheats out the AGs. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to say it all. But it still emphasizes the same level 4s going on up. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop over to our gameplay footage here. So as I mentioned, we're starting out with that Balmon base, going into a Lugamon here. And because we have that Lugamon base, we're going to see the AG Tamer being played out. We see another Balmon, which means we have another Luga base for SOC decks coming out here. But we're opening with Digimon Emperor, and our second Digimon Emperor saying you're not promoting that rookie, and you're not getting your starting main phase effect of your Lugamon because you will never have enough memory after raising. So we go into our Dorugamon here, which is the one with collision. And I want to pull up my little cheat sheet here. Yeah, so that is your collision Dorugamon. It's going to try forcing an attack collision, either deleting a Digimon in battle, or it's going to go into the decks, but we don't have anything in the trash yet. But because you have things that go in the trash, you'll definitely start seeing more use of cards like Analog Boy again, or Analog Youth. But we see the SOC Tyrannomon, which looks for an SOC Tamer and an SOC Digimon. We got the Fixer there, we got a Digimon there, going to be adding them to hand, then we're going to trash a card. This is where you're going to be trashing the Dex lines ideally, but we're going to be trashing that Lugamon because we don't really need another rookie from this point of view. We're going to raise our Collision Dorugamon here, swing security, force your opponent's Digimon to have blocker, and block if possible. And we're going to delete it in battle because we do have more DP, and Digimon Emperors will proc here. We're going to draw a card for each one because a level 5 or lower on your opponent's side was deleted. So we've won the battle, we got the Battlemon, so if we start doing some Mind Link combos, we'll be able to Digivolve from trash, but we don't have anything in trash, so we're going to start with a purple Memboost. Going to look, Analog goes to the bottom because it's not purple. We add the Dex Steward Gray to our hand. And like I've been emphasizing, we got all these Dex lines, and we really want to get them in trash. So once we start using our Evo lines, we ideally want to start pitching them, but we're going to go ahead and use the Tyrannomon. SOC Tyrannomon, we're going to search top 4 again, looking for an SOC Tamer and an SOC Digimon, then we trash a card. So we actually have a nice selection of the Digimon here. And depending on what we have, it looks like we're going for the Lugamon because we want to cheat out an AG on our next turn and have a rookie setup. And we're probably going to be trashing a Dex line. Looks like we trash our Dex Doruga there. And the Dex Doruga, I believe that one is, yeah, has a trash effect that prevents deletion of a Digimon if it were to die. You can Digivolve into the Dex line, and then when you Evo, you trash a card in your hand, then you draw a card. So it lets you set up your Dex line, so you can go to your Dex Door Gray, which we just see the guy on the left side Evo into the Dex Doruga to pop a Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less, which is how he gets rid of that Tyranna. Then we go into our Dex Door Gray here. And Dex Door Gray still has a win Digivolving. It's not reliant for the first part to trash a card and draw a card, but we do need to have a Door Gray in its sources. Or if you Digivolve from trash, you can get the second part of popping a 6 cost or less, so we're not able to pop that Doruga there. But we are going to go into the Doragora here. And we do have a win Digivolving effect on Doragora, if I remember correctly. Doragora is, Dorugoramon has win Digivolving. If you have a Tamer with SOC in his traits, you can delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, but this one is suspended, so it does not get popped here. And the Digimon Emperors were also taps. But like I said, we're going into that Lugamon raising. We're going to be cheating out an AG on our next turn, so we're probably going to try either answering the board here at the moment, or we're going to be setting up our trash a little bit more for our lines, just because we are so reliant on having certain pieces in the trash. But yeah, so this was definitely a deck to get my mind wrapped around when I was kind of researching this for y'all, just so I have an idea of what's going on here, and that's why I wanted to open up with the lines and different decks. Cards we can see being played. I know this is both Lugamir, but the Doru base is a very valid build as well. You just have less targets for Tamers to cheat out, which is probably the main merit of using the AG build over the Kosuke build, or emphasis of the Kosuke build, I should say, versus the emphasis of the AG build. But we're going into that Dex there, just for the free cycle, and we do go ahead and pitch a card. And we're going up into our Door Gray here. And we're going to end the turn with an Ukomon. So basically we're saying, hey, if you're going to be deleting my stack, we're going to have our Dex lines ready to go, and we'll be able to start responding to your lines as well. So we're going to see that Luga and Raising. We're going to have AGs in play, but it doesn't mean we can't cheat out more AGs. Because this isn't our fixer one, this is our starting main phase one, gain a memory, and it also has Alliance on it. But we know if we swing with the Doragora here, it's going to force a block on either the Ukomon or the Doragray. And then if we see the block, and we know the Dora Gray is going to die, we're going to see it evo into that Dex Dora Gray. And that Dex Dora Gray, if you guys don't recall, will prevent the deletion of the level 5 Dora Gray. It'll trash a card, hand draw a card, and then because we'll have Dora Gray in the sources, we'll be able to delete a Digimon with a play cost of 6 or less, which isn't really applicable in this current board state, but it starts setting up our line. So we're really debating like what we're going to be doing. Do we want to set up trash more? Are we actually going to force it or attack and force the block here? Because the block target is chosen by the opponent, not by yourself. All you do is say block me with whatever you got. And I think I actually saw a Ruin mode there because this is a purple-black Digimon. Yeah, we can actually go into a Ruin mode setup of 5k Blanket, which honestly is such a good setup because it's going to deny the Lugamon effect because it won't be able to hit the field and stay on there to get the main phase effect. And then the Uka will also crash and die here. Or not crash and die, but just die from rules processing. So we are actually going for that route. And we're saying, hey, you won't be able to get that Lugamon going. Let's go ahead and just basically time walk, get an extra turn here so we can figure out how we're going to dissect this board. So we have the Baumon rookie. If we were to tuck a Tamer into the sources, that's SOC, we'd be able to Digivolve from trash, but we don't really have a reason to here, and we don't have a Tamer here either. So I guess the best thing we can start doing here is perhaps we can go into the Dex Dorugamon and de-Digivolve the stack, because I don't think that's the... Yeah, it's just that regardless, you get de-Digivolve 3. If you have the Doragora, that's where you would delete all of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level. That's what you would do there. Like I said, I have my cheat sheet over here in the left monitor, just because I'm trying to get an idea. So we're going to swing security. It's going to crash. You're going to see it go into the Dex line because it would be deleted. And we prevent the deletion there. Now we're going into the Dex Doruga, so we're going to see de-Digivolve 3. So we go back down to that Dex Dorugamon. And then we do have a reboot from one of our inherits here. So now, we know we're not under the DP blanket for this next turn, but we're also debating, like, what is our line? How are we going to break out of this board? Because we do have to keep in mind it isn't all turns effects on the Dex Doragoramon and Dex Dorugamon, or in the Dorugamon. That says when another Digimon, or when another Digimon is deleted, you unsuspend this Digimon, so effectively it could be a double blocker. Wisdom Training is going to go ahead and grab the Dora Gray line there. As we can see, these boards can definitely get a lot more complicated. Stage 1's definitely evolved to a much more complicated state than what it would be like since like BT9. BT9 was like your OTK decks. Before that, you had lots of board-focused decks, and now we have a lot of combo-oriented decks. And we also have to play around aces now, which definitely adds another layer of complexity to the game, which I think is really cool to see showcased in some of these matches. This one's definitely a lot more combo-oriented, as both sides are SOC-focused decks. And I think I see the Metal Claw there from the Greymon starter deck in the hand, but we're going to be opting probably to just Digivolve here. So we're going to swing security with the Dex Doruga, and we're going to check an analog. Analog's going to go ahead and pick up level 6 there as we start filling our trash, and we go into the Dora Gray there and raising. Yep, so we're going to start a turn. We're going to draw for turn. And we're probably raising the Luga, using the Luga's start main effect to cheat an AG out from trash or hand underneath to gain a memory. If I had to guess here. Yep, so Luga's coming out for raising. We're going to cheat out the Fixer AG to sources, gain a memory for the Luga effect. And I think we're checking if we want to or can use the BAO effect, because it does have to be from trash we digivolve into the SOC. I mean, it's not really like doing anything, I guess, too, so we don't have to. Just, do we want to utilize the option of evoing from trash if we don't have the level 4 in our hand? But we do have the Doruga in our hand, so we're going to digivolve into that. Trash a card, draw a card. And we do have that mainline effect on this Dorugamon that says we're going to force your opponent's Digimon to attack at the start of the main phase. So that's what we point over at it for. And we're an even game, though. It is 4 security, 4 security. We have two stacks each. We both have some things set up on our fields. So we have some memory banked. We have a scramble, I believe it is, and a training on one side. And thanks to the inheritance of the Lugas, we're going to gain a memory for playing an SOC card. Going to crack the training. We'll go into the Doru Gray for 1 here. And we know at the start of opponent's main phase, after they raise, they will be forced to attack. They can choose to use their AGs first to gain a memory for having SOCs in play, which it looks like we're going to hide in raising. Proc the AGs, gain memory. Forced to attack now. And we're going to go ahead and see Dora Gray go into Doragora here. And we're going to go ahead and delete one of our opponent's unsuspended tamers. That Digimon's going to die in the battle because another Digimon's deleted. We're going to tap the Digimon Emperor and draw a card because it's level 5 or lower. And I believe that was attack, force, and we had collision there, I think is what it was. And we do have an inherited effect here. I believe to cheat out a Digimon. I'm trying to figure out where that inherited effect... Yeah, okay, it's Doru Gray's inherited effect. When this Digimon deletes another Digimon, you may play 1 card with X anti-or SOC and play cost 5 or less from your trash without paying the cost. So that's how we're cheating out the Tyrannomon there, and that's how we're going to be searching and filling our trash just a little bit more. But I would say it looks like on the right side we definitely have a lot more scary board established, and we're already behind the turn on the other side. But it looks like we are going to play our Fixer out for 4 memory, leaving our opponent at 1, but our opponent does use Mind Link at the end of turn to play out the Fixer from the sources. Hatch another Battlemon here. Going into a Luga, and we have, I believe it is a total of 4 swings here against 4 security, so we do need to find a way to get another security check. There's no Digimon on our opponent's side, so we won't be able to kill right now, so we're just going to go into the Ruin mode. The only way we get a chance to do more damage off the swings is using an end of attack of a Dex Doru Gray to delete one of our own Digimon. So you delete one of your own Digimon, one of your opponent's Digimon with a level equal or lower to it, but it's not really as much of a restand. But now we have that 10k blanket from the Ruin mode. And Analog will proc here because the level 5 or higher. With a source was deleted, we can tap, gain a memory, and hatch an egg. Our Tyrannomon's going to swing security here. It looks like we checked into, I believe that is a scramble, goes to hand. Swing security alliance here. Oh yes, we do have alliance from our AGs. That is another way to get another check. Delete the Luga, and we're going to swing and go for game. And that is our SOC match there. I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, take care and have a nice one, y'all.